buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Tonight's headlines: Musevenian envoys discuss post-COVID-19 growth, regional security. A motor accident claims 2 in Mabira Forest. Two engineers arrested over poor works supervision in Mayuge. And in sports, organizers impressed by swimmers' display at the Altona BSK League.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
Good evening once again and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryne Masika Kazimoto and Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. Now we start off with our first headlining story this evening. President Lauryne Museveni has called for a stronger collaboration with partners in the development of vaccines, saying that building a strong pathogenic economy will not only promote human and animal health, but will also make money and help the economy to recover post-COVID-19. The president was meeting envoys from the Nordic countries at State House in Entebbe.
Envoys from the Nordic countries have held discussions with President Lauryne Museveni on the post-COVID-19 development and regional security. They were led by the Norwegian ambassador to Uganda, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson, the Danish ambassador to Uganda, Nicolaja Heberg Pedersen, that of Sweden, Maria Hekansson, and the Church Affairs of Iceland, Thadis Sigratador. The president and his guests focused on the COVID-19 vaccines rollout capacity ahead of schools reopening, regional peace and security. Museveni urged the development partners to help build a pathogenic economy for Uganda and promote human health and financial growth. Responding to concerns by the development partners that while the vaccines are coming in, the vaccine intake is slow, the president said the aim is to vaccinate 21 million people by the end of December.
And we shall do it. If we get the donations, good. If we don't, we buy the vaccine. The problem has been availability of vaccine more than anything else. Otherwise, we are ready to buy. Corona, we shall overcome it. We have had very few deaths if you compare with other countries, because the total deaths up to now are 3,188. And this was caused by the indiscipline of especially some of the opposition groups who were not listening to our advice, or not congregating. That's how we ended up. But still, it is not compared to what happened in other countries.
On issues of regional peace and security, President Museveni said that some ADF and ISIS rebels have linkages, and many have been arrested while transiting in Uganda. On climate change, President Museveni urged development partners to help deal with the micro issues of climate change, including preserving wetlands, forest reserves, and ridding steep gradient mountains of settlements to stop landslides.
Mountain ridge of more than 30 degrees vertical should not be occupied by human beings. Should be left for the forest.
The Norwegian ambassador, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson, who led the delegation, expressed their interest in cooperating with Uganda in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, regional issues, and issues of climate change. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
2 people have died and another survived with injuries in a freak accident in Mabira on Kampala-Jinja Highway. The cause of the accident was reportedly speeding that led to a head-on collision between a trailer transporting cement from Jinja to Kampala with a Fuso truck which was carrying bricks from Kampala heading to Jinja. The Sezibwa regional spokesperson Helen Butoto says the deceased was a 39-year-old Ronald Mpawo who was driving a Fuso and his 29-year-old turn boy Ziyadi Muteba. The bodies were taken to Kawolo Regional Referral Hospital for post-mortem.
Pull. Add again. Add. Add a bit.
Kwangu omuntu bw'oveeri ejjinja tosobola ate kulaba muntu ava Kampala ate nga kaavu y'amaanyi mukoona ebyo kati nakyo kiviirako obuzibu. Kati omuntu ng'avuga emmotoka entono fayita n'owatuleera kati owa fayita waba aserengeta asiba ate owatuleera ye ataamu mu mmotoka. Kati y'ensonga lwaki oyinza okulaba nga owatuleera yatomedde mu kabina akeeri eyabadde semadisipana. Omuntu nabwo obuzibu busobola okuba nga bwavuddeko naye nga ekisinga obukulu emiti gino we ginaavaawo omuntu n'obeera nga oba olengera eri ekiri ku poliisi n'olengera n'ekiri eri ku makubo egagati kigenda kuyamba.
Wafunda wano muzeeyi olaba ki ekyetaaga okukolebwa?
Wano ekitaaga okukolebwa kyetaaga kutema koona n'emiti gitemwe. Ekoona lyonna lyagala litema baligaziye bulungi.
Ekkubo lino balikola nga balikolera abantu abatono naye abantu katweyongera bakozesa ekkubo. Kali oba tunuulidde wano nawe oli munnamawulire kali wano weetegere yetaasizaawa oba waboda yetaasizaawa oba wakagaali.
Yeah, this morning at around 5 we registered a fatal accident involving 4 vehicles whereby there was a trailer that was coming from Jinja side. As it tried to overtake as it was trying to overtake, it met some other 3 vehicles which were coming from Kampala side, and it collided with them. So we've registered 2 people already dead, and they have been taken to Kaolo mortuary. Meanwhile, 2 are also in critical condition, have been rushed to Kaolo hospital where they're getting treatment from. Yes, police were cautioning the drivers to drive very carefully on this Kampala Jinja highway, more so this place of Buola, it being a black spot. As I talk now, the wreckages have been carried from the scene. They have been parked at Marura police stations as investigations are ongoing.
May their souls rest in peace. Now, the State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Peter Ogwang, is in Busoga sub-region monitoring government programs. Now, on his 4th day in the region, the minister has arrested 2 engineers in Mayuge district over shadow works done on district roads, hospitals, borehole and school constructions. We have more.
Economic Minister Peter Ogwang is in Busoga region monitoring and assessing government projects. Currently in Mayuge district, the minister discovered an ice plant at Bugoto landing site that is not utilized, yet it was meant to benefit the fisher folk in the area.
Here where we are, you can prove it yourself. They use 55 million to carry out renovation, fencing. There's no gate there. You can see for yourself. And then what was done was to paint. So in a nutshell, I want to say this, that as far as Mayuge is concerned, my findings are not good. It is a constant, and I think Mayuge is also worse off.
Characters, supervisors and district leaders are blamed for the poor supervision.
Twali tulowooza 2 billion ezateekebwa wano okuzimba ekyuma kino nga ndowooza tunatereeza era ekyuma kino ekintu kino kyakolako nga basajja abazimba bakyaliwo bwe bagenda kyazikira batu bwe bagenda nayo buli kintu kyazina nga bagamba nti ebigoma bino oluguudo lwe balimye bubi tolibona.
Minister Ogwang was seemingly irritated by the state of the roads that are apparently narrow, poorly constructed and ostensibly impassable.
Some roads were worked on partially, some were not completed, some were worked on, no culverts. Others now, personal people, some one civil servant was given to work on a road in a manner which we don't understand. Why he could use his own money, but all that calls upon an issue of corruption. If you come to the area of water, it was repaired in 1 financial year. According to them, that financial year, that borehole was repaired at 7.2 million, actually 7.7 million. In actual sense, they told us that only put 7 pipes as far as the local people are concerned. Then the other financial years, I am shocked, and Chairman is in this district that a borehole is being repaired at a cost of 18 million shillings.
A two-roomed building at Boya Primary School that was reportedly renovated at 48 million, but poorly done, asked the economic minister to the narrow, forcing him to arrest 2 district engineers over failure to perform their supervisory roles effectively. The minister is expected to continue his monitoring operations throughout the 12 districts that make up Busoga region. Story compiled by Irene Nakungu and Paul Isabide.
Mubende High Court has annulled the election of Mityana District Woman Member of Parliament Joyce Bagala Ntwatwa and ordered for fresh elections. In a ruling by Justice Baguma Emmanuel delivered by the court registrar Kawesa Godfrey, Bagala's fate was sealed by a proof that there were multiple vote irregularities. However, Joyce Bagala vowed to appeal the ruling.
Stolen during polling. I came to court, we brought in witnesses, and God has been merciful to us that today's judgment has been the best. The facts, the truth have come out properly.
Court in Mubende has announced the election of Mityana Woman MP, Joyce Bagala Ntwatwa, and called for fresh elections.
To the people of Mityana, I want to tell you that I'm coming back as your daughter. You know what I can do. You know my efforts, you know my strength, and you have been waiting for this moment. The moment of truth has come. We are coming back to you to make sure that we gain our victory, and I hold the post of Mityana District Woman MP.
Justice Emmanuel Baguma ruling, delivered by the Deputy Court Registrar Kawesa Godfrey, set aside Joyce Bagala Ntwatwa's earlier victory for Mityana District.
Judge asazeewo nti nomugo musango obuwanguzi bwa Joyce Bagala Ntwatwa babusazizaamu kubanga kizuuliddwa nti Joyce Bagala yawaayo enguzi yagulirira abalonzi okufuna obuwanguzi obwo therefore alina okusasula costs nasasula Honorable Judith Nabakoba in election petition.
So the thing is, I'm not surprised. I'm not even worried. This is the Uganda that we keep telling you. I'm not so surprised. Somehow I knew with the cost that we have, what else can you expect? But I've already instructed my lawyers to appeal this decision because I'm not satisfied with the result of the case.
Bagala's post was nullified on grounds of voter bribery, multiple voting, intimidation and manipulation.
This is a victory not for the Honorable Nabakoba by herself, but a victory for the people of Mityana to that extent. Because it's the people of Mityana that submitted evidence through the affidavits, through coming to court, to demonstrate to the Honorable Court that the election was riddled with very many offenses to that extent.
And it's her right. But me, I'll go with the court's ruling. Because court has all the facts, and those facts are on the file. Even they are the same facts that are used in court of appeal. So I'm going to begin my mobilization. I want to assure the people of Mityana that your servant, your mwana wa mwabawereza, nga teyekiriranya abeerawo mulungi n'embubi. I'm coming back.
Mubende High Court also upheld the election victory of Mityana North constituency, where Nopo's Gordon Sematiko was up against NRM's Chibedin Segumire.
I told people that they don't get votes from the court. They get votes from the what? From the constituency. Therefore, people decided that I'm their member of parliament 2021-2026, and that's what the judge has upheld.
It should be recalled that Lands Minister Judith Nabakoba petitioned this court after losing out on this same position to Joyce Bagala by a vote margin of 16,311 votes and now wants to reclaim it. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
NRM Secretariat leaders have started traversing the regions of Bukedi in eastern Uganda to identify different challenges faced by NRM district leaders for proper solution. The NRM Secretary General Richard Tadwong emphasized the issue of discipline among the local leaders. We have more in this report.
National Resistance Movement Secretariat leaders have this week been traversing eastern Uganda, mobilizing the area to appreciate their roles. The team was led by Secretary General Richard Twadong and consisted of Rosemary Namayanja Sereko, a senior mobilizer Rosemary Seninde, the NRM chairperson Electoral Commission Dr. Tango Doi, and Director of Communication Emmanuel Dombo. They managed to meet leaders from the district of Udaka, Utaleja, Tololo, Paris Abutebo, and Chibuku. Richard Todong urged NRM district leaders to be disciplined while executing their duties and also make a follow-up of government programs in their district for transparency and accountability.
Discipline part of the resources that we send from the center to the lower levels in discipline because of other people supporting other candidates and other political parties. So we are warning them to stop such kind of indiscipline cases. And of course, we shall take disciplinary actions against some of them who might not.
The NRM Chief Mobilizer, Lauryne Masika Kazimoto, emphasized the spirit of unity as leaders to achieve the NRM manifesto through serving the local people.
We're going to do more of listening because people have grievances. We want to know and appreciate what are those challenges that we can be able to deal with, because we always believe that a problem identified is a problem solved. So as a party, we know there are places where we didn't work well. There are places where we didn't perform well as far as NRM is concerned. This area inclusive. So we want to regain the glory of NRM.
The Deputy Secretary General Rosemary Namanja Nsereko and the Head of Communications at NRM Secretariat Emmanuel Dombo emphasized the need for regular meeting of district party leaders.
We are informing our leaders what is going to be done this financial year, such that they are able to monitor as activities are being implemented. So, implementation of the manifesto is key, and the party is going to handle it, to face it head on, to ensure that the ministries do what they are supposed to do, the leaders at district level do what they are supposed to do, and then the party leaders also ensure that they monitor service delivery.
But also to plan forward, because we are going to get into structural elections. We are going to plan for by-elections in some areas where there are no elections. We're also going to begin planning to supervise government programs. So we need a team to work with, but the team must be cohesive. And the purpose of this trip is to build that cohesion so that we attack together.
According to NRM party leaders, the program will also be extended to other parts of the country. Robert Katamba for UBC News.
Compulsory vaccination of international truck drivers applying the East African roads has started in Elegu border post. According to the truck drivers chairperson Byron Chinene, only 5% of the truck drivers are vaccinated, adding that rolling out compulsory vaccination will curb the spread of coronavirus at border points.
COVID-19 itself, the virus, doesn't have wings, it can't move by its own. But imagine if a trucker driver has got it from Juba, all the way is going to Mombasa. It will just take 3 days, that virus, to move from Juba up to Mombasa, because it has been given transport by a trucker driver. That's why we are concentrating more, especially on trucker drivers, to see that they are vaccinated, and the Ministry of Health comes nearer to them to vaccinate them.
The chairperson of truck drivers at Uganda-South Sudan border town of Elegu says a mandatory COVID-19 vaccination is the way to go.
I've been saying all the way that taking the vaccination is a choice. But for us, we are saying it is not a choice, because now there are areas where there are restrictions. Some trucker drivers cannot go there without a vaccination card.
Currently, international truck drivers cannot access or exit Uganda without an evidence of a COVID-19 test in a period of 14 days.
Chukua kijanjo ya corona, kisiki mbaya na kuwa mzuri, umedungwa mzuri kwa heshima. Na nimechukua kadi ndo hii. Kijanjo ni mzuri, watu waende wajidunge. Wasiogope.
Muyindo is a Congolese veteran truck driver who believes that East African countries need to unite in the campaign against COVID-19 pandemic. The Uganda-South Sudan cross-border trade chairperson Margaret Auma believes that this will improve business at the border due to reduced fear of contracting the virus.
Because we have been living in fear of getting the virus from these truck drivers. Much as, okay, once somebody is vaccinated doesn't mean this person is not going to contract the virus again. it's going to help us. It's going to relieve us of the fear.
The Executive Director, Uganda Professional Drivers Network, Omongo Ndugu, says the vaccination is being supported by the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and this will help government popularize vaccination among drivers.
So as we are here, we are proud of Private Sector Foundation for having accepted our request to study the state of observation of SOPs by the drivers and the people who handle the drivers. Because the drivers are not always alone. They have mechanics, they have people.
Over 600 truck drivers ply the Kampala to Juba Highway on a daily basis.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
Hello, it's me again, Jenny Kafulua Shares. In my other video, I showed you how to open an SCD account using MTN Momo. Now let me tell you about the MTN Shares offer. You can apply for MTN Uganda shares for as low as $100.
Vaccinated today so we can get closer to the normal way of life. Echa COVID-19 chija kugwa.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. Finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly until James discovered something big. Now he can finally enjoy the benefits of homegrown advantage with a decoder and 1 month of GoTV value. For just 25,000 shillings, enjoy the world's biggest leagues and cap competitions. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Parents and guardians, this month of October, take all your children aged 15 years and below to the nearest health facility or outreach post for integrated child health days to receive a wide range of free services. The services will include immunization to protect them against killer yet vaccine-preventable diseases like measles, rubella, polio, diphtheria, whooping cough, pneumonia, meningitis, diarrhea, tetanus, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, and cancer of the cervix. Your child will also receive vitamin A and deworming tablets. Girls aged 10 years old and those who missed their second HPV vaccine dose will receive HPV vaccine to protect them against cancer of the cervix. Girls and women aged 15 to 49 years will also be immunized against tetanus and diphtheria. Due to polio outbreak in the region, every child under 5 years should be fully immunized as per the routine immunization schedule. Vaccines used for immunization are safe, effective, and free and have been approved by the Ministry of Health and World Health Organization. Remember to follow all the COVID-19 prevention measures, including wearing a mask when in public, hand washing with water and soap, and keeping a distance of at least 2 meters from another person. Integrated Child Health Days, a healthy child, a happy family. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization, PATH, and partners.
Grow together with one of Uganda's largest companies.
Apply for MTN shares for as low as 100,000 Uganda shillings. And when you apply using MTN Mobile Money, you get 10 free extra shares for every 100 shares you apply for. Dial *165*65# or use the MyMTN app to apply now. The terms and conditions of the offer and other important information are set out in the prospectus. For assistance, visit any MTN service center or Stanbic Bank branch countrywide or a licensed broker.
Welcome back from that break. Now into more news. The Vice President, Major General Jessica Lupo, has inspected Kilembe mines, copper mines, following a directive by President Lauryne Masika that the defunct copper mines be revived. The Vice President asked the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development to initiate a process to get an investor to get the mines running. We have details.
The Vice President also directed the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development to immediately initiate a process to get an investor to take over the management and operationalization of Kilembe mines.
The known deposits of copper in Kilembe are 4.5 million tons by the time the operation stopped. But also, in addition to that, it is also very clear that more exploration can be done, and it is very highly probable that more deposits can also be discovered, making Kilembe mines very marketable. Because already when we are looking for the investor, we know the deposits of copper which are already in Kilembe mines.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development was directed within the shortest time possible to advertise the expression of interest for an investor in a transparent manner. She said, as government, the revamp of the instruction, the investor will also be handling the exploration and mining sector. The Vice President also directed the Uganda National Roads Authority and the Ministry of Works and Transport to expedite the reconstruction of Chanjuchi Bridge at Kilembe Mines, a bridge that connects the richest copper mine. This bridge will also help tourists to also easily reach the highest point of Rwenzori Mountains, known as Mount Stanley's Margarita Peak.
But we would like Ministry of Water also to do their part. My brother there said training the river, but I wanted to say taming the river. So that when the bridges are constructed by Ministry of Works and Transport, the river now will be tamed enough to follow its original route.
She promised to table a proposal before the President to pay Kilembe mines workers who are now working as volunteers all their areas, amounting to about 2 billion shillings. The government will construct Kilembe Mine Hospital and 10 secondary and primary schools which were raised down by River Nyamwamba.
A report was done by the Ministry of Education on all education institutions which were affected by River Nyamwamba and River Mubuku. And in their report, they are planned for resources to come and revive all those institutions which were washed away. There are so many assets which Kilembe Mines has. I saw a hydropower plant. I saw a plant of water tanks. I also saw some structures of people where people live. All those are a reason we are here, to see how they can be revived to their proper shape in order to serve the mines.
The mine during the 1956 and mid-1960s is reported to have been vibrant, and it accounted for up to 30% of Uganda's foreign export earnings. It was the country's third largest export earning venture, coming only after coffee and cotton. Previous government efforts to revive the mine near Uganda's border with the Democratic Republic of Congo between 1983 and 2006 had not yielded any results. The Vice President was accompanied by the State Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Peter Lokeris, the State Minister in the Vice President's Office, Diana Mtasingwa, the State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, and the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Harriet Ntabazi. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanakuya Sempa.
And now into business, real estate sector players are urging government to fully reopen the economy in order to breathe life into some struggling sectors. The investors, who include Judy Rugasira of Knight Frank and Sudhir Ruparelia, say lack of incentives from government and lockdown measures is crippling the real estate sector.
Uganda's real estate sector has blossomed over the years, though not in tandem with the population growth, especially in urban areas. It is for this reason that URA's Bombay Business Summit dedicated an edition to real estate development.
We have income tax, we have VAT, we have withholding. There are many.
22.
Yes.
22 taxes.
For one sector. Yes.
So there is a...
So when you have a property, it is subjected to all those taxes.
And you're right, we could possibly sit and see, fine, how many of them are in this sector, and then possibly we review one by one and we see where does it come double, or where is it more inconveniencing, again, who is benefiting when these taxes come.
Concerns were raised on the continued lockdown of some sectors, which players say have impacted negatively on their revenue streams.
There's no way the retail trade is going to improve when we're closing down at 7 o'clock. And that's the reality, because that means restaurants have got to take the last orders at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock and close by 6:30 or 7 because people need to go home. Now that sector of retail is completely dead and they're struggling. It's going to take them a very long time to recover, and it's a whole ecosystem. With schools still closed, schools are a very, very big source of demand for a lot of fast-moving consumable goods. Okay, which feeds into the bigger economy, and the ecosystem continues working and functioning vibrantly.
Issue we've had is mainly with what we call arcades. When downtown was closed, our tenants could not operate, and they were the hardest hit. So we understand their situation, and we would actually deal with the tenant to tenant, give them some incentives of 50% rebate on rent.
If retailers are struggling and the customers are not there to buy goods, then the landlords must be struggling.
Your shops were closed. In most normal countries, you don't pay property taxes. But here, they make you pay. Your taxation is, you had to pay. All they said, deferred it for new months, but they never give you a reprieve. So there was all these things about support is all philosophical, but not real.
The Real Estate Edition gave insights on surviving and thriving through COVID-19 pandemic, investing in real estate sector, trade and investment opportunities, and taxation. Seda Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Now let's take a look at the sports world. Organizers of the Altona BSK Swimming League are impressed by achievements at the championship that has entered its 4th edition. It is the first ever commercialized swimming league and gathers pace in numbers and competitiveness almost at each outing. We have the details.
The Altona BSK Swimming League has entered its 4th edition with action at the British School of Kampala swimming pool in Muyenga. The league is contested by 2 teams, Talons and Colts, and in editions are with each of 4 outings, and there will be 9 editions. At every outing, participants are usually limited to 1 format of swimming, with the latest outing dedicated to butterfly. The league organizers are impressed by the level amongst the swimmers who show no signs of being slowed by the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown.
As parents, it has been a very good initiative because, as you know, because of the COVID pandemic, we have not had as many galas as we used to. So it has kept the children in a very good physical shape. But also we have seen a lot of progress, especially in terms of times. We see a very good improvement in terms of times, and I think by the time we go for the next competitions, we will have a very competitive team.
As it stands in the league, Talons are still lead the overall standings, but Colts are posing a real danger. There have been quality displays from most of the swimmers, but the cast of Abigail Mwagari and Tara Kisauzi is immense. This league is the first ever in Uganda that rewards cash for excellent displays, especially of improved personal best times. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but before we go, let's first take another look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In tonight's headlines, Museveni and envoys discuss post-COVID-19 growth, regional security. A motor accident claims 2 in Mabira Forest. Two engineers arrested over poor works and supervision in Mayuge. And in sports, organizers impressed by swimmers' display at the Altona BSK League.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
Thank you so much for your company this evening, but do join us for our second edition UBC News Tonight, where we'll be having more stories. I leave you with the weather forecast with Daphne Kabasita and Samba. We'll see you at 10.
Thanks for tuning in to UBC. I'm Daphne Kabasita Samba from Uganda National Meteorological Authority, presenting to you the weather update. Most parts of the country today had sunny intervals in the morning hours, though some areas had showers. For example, areas around the lake, Entebbe, Jinja. But then later in the afternoon, western part of the country, eastern part, some few areas around the lake, they all had showers, apart from the northern part of the country where we had sunny intervals. According to the report that we received today, Kampala reported the highest amount of rainfall of 39.0 millimeters. Bushenyi, we had 32.6 millimeters. Bududa, we had 38.8 millimeters. And then Gulu, we had 26.7 millimeters. Most stations reported rainfall, though they were below 26.7 millimeters. According to the satellite image, it shows that we have winds that are coming in from Indian Ocean towards the eastern part of your country, coupled together with the effect of Mountain Elgon to the eastern part of the country. That's why we're having showers in eastern part of Uganda. Some winds are coming in from Congo towards the western part of the country, contributing to the rains that we are having in the western part of Uganda and areas around Lake Victoria because of the effect of Lake Victoria to the surrounding. Tomorrow we are expecting to start the day with sunny intervals in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas around the lake where we're expecting showers. Later in the afternoon we're expecting showers in most parts of Uganda, apart from northeastern part of the country where we are expecting sunny intervals. Temperatures expected to rise to 32 degrees Celsius, that is northeastern part of the country. Northern, we're expecting temperatures to rise to 31. Areas in the western, we're expecting temperatures to rise to 28. And then in areas around southwestern part of the country, we're expecting temperatures to rise to 23 degrees Celsius. Going to Nairobi, London and New York, we're expecting sunny intervals. In Moscow, we're expecting rains with temperatures rising to 9, so it's a bit cold in Moscow. In Dubai, we're expecting sunny conditions with temperatures rising to 36 degrees Celsius. That's what we had in our store. For more information, don't forget to dial star 255 *85 hash for more information about weather or check on our website. I'm Daphne Kavasita from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. Thanks for tuning into UBC.
Richard.
Tax.
Sandy.
Hey.
Mbona unanishtua hivi jamani? Ah.
Hey.
Are you okay?
Yes, I am.
It has been ages. Where have you been?
I've been around.
What are you doing here?
I live here.
Temporarily. That's why actually I called you. She needs help.
Richard, I told you I don't need your help.
Just because you say so doesn't mean that you don't need help. I'll leave the two of you to talk. However, I'll give you heads up. Her husband beats her.
Richard.
She even has bruises.
Richard.
Excuse me.
What? Sandy, ni nini ninachokisikia hichi?
Betty, how are you?
I'm fine, Reverend. Where is Reverend Taka?
She's not around. She's doing something. So, how may I help you?
I have come to book for a wedding.
Oh, a wedding!
Yes, Reverend.
Wow, that's so interesting. So you and Beckham are finally going to put your marriage right. That's so interesting. I'm so happy for you.
Don't ever talk about that man, Reverend. I'm not getting married to Beckham.
You're not?
No, I have another man.
Eh? Betty, you are married to Beckham.
That's all the news. For long ago, so I need to book.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Here.
Sandy, those bruises are really serious.
That's life.
But that's not how it's supposed to be. It's not, Sandy.
Well, mine is.
Have you reported him to the police?
Nah, I won't report him because I'll end up losing my children.
Sandy, really? And in the process, what if you also lose your life and die? Won't it be worse?
Well, change of topic. How are you? I last heard from Richard that you're still a priest.
Yes, I am. And
nice.
you? Thank you.
Teacher, I ended up teaching in the same secondary school with Richard. That's where we connected from.
Oh, okay. Yes. I got married.
I hope he's not beating you.
No, he's a sweet soul. Not all men are violent. No, not all of them.
Don't believe that.
Ah, Sandy, come on. I missed you.
Missed you too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
This Reverend. Where's Reverend Tucker?
she's not available right now.
I've not seen her for a while. Where has she been?
Not so sure.
I need to talk to her. When will she be back?
Not so sure. Reverend.
Betty!
I've finished.
I've been looking for you everywhere. I've looked for you everywhere. Where have you been? Where? What is this? Wedding booking? Bride? Betty? Groom? Kawuchi? Kawuchi? What's Kawuchi? What's this? What's this?
It's none of your business. I thought he knew. Are you not separated?
Separated? This is my wife way.
I'm getting
married.
married.
You are not getting married to any other man. Not when Beckham is still alive. Atemwe, Gezapulete, you have wedded my wife for another man. I'll burn you all. Jabocha. All of you.
Reverend, mpech papule chirala. Beckham! Beckham! Chinachi Beckham! Richard! Onani!
Bella, what are you doing here? I thought you had gone for good. Stop talking your nonsense. This is Sandra, my workmate, and a long-time friend of mine. Sandra, that's Bella, my wife.
And what is she doing here?
Sandra is going through hard times. And as for you, what are you doing here?
This is my home. I'm free to come and live as I want. Excuse me.
I'm sorry about that.
So, is she the one?
Yes.
I see.
You were going to register a married person to be married to another man?
She told me they were separated.
And you didn't have any sense to think through, make research whether it was true or not?
Please, Reverend, do not talk to me like that. We all make mistakes and I can hardly say this is mine.
You women!
You women what?
You're so incompetent.
And you are egoistic.
Apologize.
For what?
I am your superior.
Then behave like one.
I need to call the bishop on this one. This administration needs an iron hand.
For peace's sake,
Richard, never, ever bring a woman in my bed. Even when I'm dead, togezangako.
When I was told you were going to come back, I could not believe it. How did this happen?
I have no idea.
Oh my goodness.
all I got was a letter from the bishop's office telling me to return.
Wow, I wonder how it happened.
I have no idea. So, what is new?
Oh, Mo. Reverend Mo is getting married.
I know.
And how do you feel about this?
How do you expect me to feel? Happy?
You guys work well together. The radio show. We all thought you and him would...
There's nothing between me and Mo.
Okay, enough of Reverend Mo. I need to warn you about something. There's a new clergy. He is obnoxious.
That is a harsh way to talk about a man of God, a fellow servant.
Lisa, you don't know this guy.
I think you need to be the better person here.
First meet him and then you give me that advice.
Okay. Where is Teddy?
Oh, Teddy was sent to Karamoja for a mission.
Teddy in Karamoja?
Yeah.
Teddy in Karamoja?
Yes.
She must have started a comedy club.
We both agree on that.
Teddy in Karamoja, oh my God, that is new.
Yes, comedy,
that is new. Oh.
Well, it's good to see you again. Thank you for coming to check on me again.
Anytime. Thank you for the pictures.
Welcome. I hope you like it. How is it?
Relaxed. I like it.
Ah!
It's really nice.
Oh, really?
I'd forgotten that you're the champion in the kitchen.
Oh. More than your brother.
Really?
Yeah.
The way you guys looked good together. I wish you had gotten married.
But life happened.
Bella?
Yes.
When did you come back?
Recently. Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you too. By the way,
yes.
Did you like the dresses I sent you?
Yeah, I loved them. Thank you so much.
Anytime. The pleasure is all mine.
Aww.
Did you like the red one? Did you recognize it?
Yeah, that's the one I asked you for 12 years ago and you refused to give it to me.
Oh my gosh. I never wore it again.
Oh, really?
I felt really, really bad. It's this time, Mom.
Thank you so much. I loved them so much.
It seems you two know each other very well. It's even crowded here. Let me go. I'll take my juice from the kitchen.
How did Richard end up with such a very horrible woman?
I have no idea. I can't even explain that.
I'm way better than her, right? You know I would have made your brother very happy. But anyway, I have to go back to my husband.
No, Sandy, that's way too dangerous. You always ukafanya hivyo, Sandy.
Well, if Richard can handle such a horrible woman, well, I can also handle my terrible husband.
No, Sandy, that's way too dangerous. It is dangerous.
Well, let's just drink to that. See what to do later.
Yeah.
Cheers. Friend's favorite.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know you were here.
I'm surprised myself that here I am.
Look, I won't ask how you came back here, but listen, I'm getting married.
It's not news.
Look, I wanted to tell you, but I just didn't know how.
You're telling me now, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
Are you sure about her?
Yes.
Okay. No, actually, it's not okay. Mo, you gave me hope.
Did I? Look, I didn't make any promises. I didn't.
But you led me on. Did you? You held my hand through a tough season of my life. You said you felt things for me is tough. You kept me around you every day. If that is not leading a woman on, define it, because I don't understand.
And I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Go on.
Look, I broke my counselor's code of conduct, and I want you to forgive me.
You know what? I have no need for a man that is indecisive. I've had my share of you all. I just hope you're making the right decision, because you only get married once. Just be careful.
How did Richard even end up with such a terrible woman? And better still, tolerate you for all these years.
Well, he did. And it does not concern you in any way. I'm being polite. So polite. Can you get out of my house before I stop using words?
Fine. Banange.
Lisa?
What is a devil like you doing in such a uniform?
This weekend, Youth of Purpose.
Let's work together to make sure that the environment breathes. We'll also be able to breathe safely and keep our environment safe.
Every resource that we're using, we're borrowing from someone that has not even yet been born. So they should take care of the world and try to go as much green as possible.
Our environment is dying out. Things people dispose of so badly, so they are going to harm the future generation, and we have to prepare for them. And it all starts with me.
It is a really big honor living in a country that is called the most beautiful in the entire continent. So let's all do our best to make Uganda the best.
Uganda first.
Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. We thank you so much for following and welcome to this week's edition of UBC One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa. We talk about different topics, and the other week we had education. We are back on the line of politics. We want to talk politics because there is a lot boiling in our country. This is one field that will never rest. The guest I have is a party president in this country for a very long time. He has been a member of parliament, and he is a voice very loud in this country. The party is the Conservative Party, where he is the president. We will get to know about that party as well. And he has been the member of parliament for Rubaga South constituency. The Honorable John Ken Luchams, the man, is here with us. Honorable, we are so glad to have you.
So am I. I hope the public does not mind if I remove my...
The distance between us is just good enough.
Yeah, we are within.
And I'm sure they will really want to see you.
Yeah.
How are you? How is everything? How is life?
Well, we are trying to live in a very difficult situation. Yeah, things are not easy. COVID notwithstanding. But things are not easy. The economy is bad. People are poor. They have nothing to sell, especially the farmers. I sympathize with them. Those in the government dismantled the parastatals of coffee and cotton that otherwise made life easy for many farmers in Uganda, who constitute almost 85%. So there is a problem.
How have you been yourself? We hear that life is so hard when somebody leaves parliament. Is that true?
It may be